Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Let me introduce you to my new little high voltage generator. Right here we got a Variac coming out of the wall. Coming out of the out of the Variac, going into a full wave bridge rectifier. Coming out of the DC sides of the full wave bridge rectifier. And we're going into this 2N3055, a resistor, a diode, and a little flyback that I bought. I bought a pair. And I wanted to show off with you guys and let you have a little fun looking at some high voltage here. And on the flyback, we got a total of 8 turns. 4 of them are for the tickler. 3 of them are for the primary. We are center tapped here. This is the positive, and this is the negative that's coming off the collector on the 2N3055. And so that means the negative is chasing the positive. Over here is where the pin, the ground pin is. We'll just leave that off for a second. And let's fire it up. So we are going to connect the collector, which goes right there. This is a heat sink that'll absorb some heat. And this is from a microwave mott. It's laminated layers. I'm just going to stick that on top. That'll help it absorb. And right here is the voltmeter, 0.5. Let's go ahead and turn it up a hair. We're going to bring it to 5 volts. Let's go like, go there. I want to go there. 5.7. All right. Let's connect the one end to the ground. You can hear it sizzling at me. And let's go ahead and go over to the hot. That's the hot side right there, the red. Not much because we only got 5 volts. Let's go ahead and connect it to this light and see if it lights up. No, not yet. Let's turn it up a hair. There it goes. So we're at 8 volts. Now notice one thing, guys. I'm barefoot, okay? I want to show you some experiments with high voltage and bare feet using ground. Your body is ground. Okay, so let's go ahead. You can see this is one wire. That's the negative side. That's the green that's coming off the negative side. It's not the hot side. Five volts, 8 volts. Let's go ahead and step it up. $19 volts. Lights lit up good. Something I want to show you. Now watch this. Light bulb, right? we got transistor down in the house. You guys can do a little pit stop there. Watch me switch out a transistor. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, she's nice and hot. Grab a fresh one. All right, commence firing. Bring it up. 18 volts. That's the hot to the ground. Obviously my motor's running hot. Yep. There's the second heated up transistor. I'm reusing some of the ones that got hot before. So that's probably one of the reasons why they're overheating. Pop in the fresh one. Well, freshly one that's been overheated before. And let's throw the heat sink on. Let's drill on that. $14 volts. Cool little machine. It's sparking just go into this wire, and there's no reference to ground in this circuitry here. Even the Variac, I have no ground coming out of the wall to it, so there's no reference to ground. And there's some cool stuff that's going on. So I'm getting ready to make a doubler. I have these triplers, and these are TV modules. And they are triplers. They got capacitors and diodes in them. So we're gonna step this up, but right now, obviously I got some overheating issues, so I'm gonna have to work through that. I also have a bigger flyback coming in. These are that's like a mini right there, and that'll help. And coming out of the Variac, you have to smooth down the line because there's a bunch of ripples in it. If you come out of your full wave bridge rectifier and hook it up to the oscilloscope, you'll see there's ripples in there, and you won't get your transistor to fire up very hard. You probably won't get it to fire it up at all. So the way to overcome that is come directly out of both DC sides and go into a capacitor on both sides, positive, negative, and then come out of that and go into your beautiful high voltage engine over here. And the goal here is we'll see how much voltage. You can see I probably had a good 1/2 inch gap, and they say what every inch I think was 80,000 volts. So if I'm in a 1/2 inch, I'm probably at 40,000 volts from that little piss cutter. So by having a real nice size one, that'll help increase the more cylinders, you could say, if it was a race car engine. But we'll be able to get more out of it. By coming out of the Variac, you're able to throw a lot out of it. The transistor only max is 115 watts. That's still a lot of power. Keeping it cool beside the cooling down method here, I'm trying to figure out why that it overheats, and I don't even have to go towards a negative with the wire. If I just had it running, it overheats. So there's something there. If you guys can leave your comments, appreciate it. And yeah, man, I think we are still running on this guy. Wonder how hot it is. Burning my finger like a slayer. So one of the cool things is I got my feet on the ground, so I don't know if I could do it right now, but I take my feet off the ground, sitting on the wooden chair, and if you see that sparking right there, now if I grab the negative end with one hand, look, and I come over to it, now it comes out. So notice that again, guys. So I'm going to come over to it now. I'm not touching this, right? Come over to it, and you'll see it bounce out. It'll backfire. It won't go in my finger. See it backfire? Right, it's backfire. It won't go in my finger. Sort of shielding it. But as soon as I touch the negative side, which is over there, and you just seen that there's stuff coming in my finger, but once I touch it, and it's not burning me no more, it's going in my body. Now you can see that I got juice coming out of the end of the wire. And also my feet are on the ground, so it's coming out of my toes and going to the ground. Cool stuff. Just charging your body up is cool in itself. Don't do it at home until you get comfortable with using high voltage. But not a lot of amperage, but still mess with ground. You don't want to be the middle guy. So yeah, so we got one wire lighting up a fluorescent bulb, and then as you bring in my hand wireless, as you bring it up near the bulb, the other bulbs lighten up. crazy stuff. Leave your comments.